I'm Director Tim Kozel with Muskegon Police Department. I have Prosecutor DJ Hills from the Muskegon County Prosecutor's Office with me here today. Appreciate everybody showing up here today. I have a prepared statement just to update everybody on the Jackson homicide and where we're at. So currently there are 2 suspects in custody in connection with the shooting on Jackson Avenue. Both suspects are 25-year-old males who reside in the Detroit area. The first suspect was injured during the shooting and is currently recovered in the hospital. Late last week, a second suspect was taken into custody in the Detroit area. The second suspect was identified shortly after the incident through tips provided by members of the public via the Silent Observer program. Our law enforcement partners on the east side of the state worked tirelessly to locate and apprehend this individual. Can't speak enough about our partnerships with the east side of the state. I'd like to thank the Michigan Department of Correction Absconder Recovery Unit. They worked tirelessly to try to assist us with this. The Detroit Police Department, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives Unit, and the Michigan State Police Crime Scene Response Team for their assistance. Locally, our Muskegon Major Crime Initiative coordinated the investigation alongside the manhunt. The MMCI is an investigative team formed by the prosecutor's office and includes investigators from the Muskegon Police Department, Muskegon Heights Police Department, Michigan State Police, and the FBI. Both suspects were on parole at the time of the incident and are currently in custody of the Michigan Department of Corrections. They will remain in custody pending formal charges and throughout the trial process. At this time, we are not seeking any additional suspects. Based on the information currently available, the incident appears to have been a robbery that escalated into gunfire. The incident was a tragedy for the victims, their families, and the entire community. Every available resource was used to identify and apprehend those responsible. Community members came forward with critical information, and law enforcement and local agencies partnered with the state and federal levels, working together to bring this case to a resolution. We want to recognize and thank everybody involved for their cooperation and dedication that led to these arrests. I'm welcome to take any questions the best I can.
Are you able to identify those suspects at this time?
Not at this time, no.
Are they charged with a murder or whatever?
So, to answer that question, and I echo certainly the chief's thanks for not only the community but also law enforcement that assisted in the apprehension and discovery of these 2 individuals. We still have a couple of investigative ends to tie up before we issue any formal charges. I anticipate formal charges here within a week or so, but clearly we believe that we have those responsible for the shooting.
Is there any indication that these people knew the people that they were robbing?
As of right now, this appears to be, I won't say friends, but they were familiar with each other.
Chief, having such a horrific shooting happen in any city is so terrible, but what do you make of the response that you had from the officers and how they have investigated this?
I think the day of the event, overwhelming response from our law enforcement community to the scene to assist us. We had a lot of agencies there to be able to lend us a hand because it was a very fluid scene. I mean, there was a lot of things going on, rendering aid to everybody that was there, trying to figure out what we got going on. So the immediate was awesome. And then with the help of our local team, MMCI, and then branching out when we were looking for that second suspect. The amount of help that we got on the east side of the state was astonishing. They worked countless hours to try to find that second suspect. I commented before, I was hopeful to have somebody in custody within days. They never stopped because it wasn't easy, but they did a wonderful job.
Is there any way you can talk about that process of how to connect with the east side and with the west side to find these people?
I think with our MMCI, with that local task force, they have those individuals that they know throughout the state, and they're able to reach out, and we're able to get that cooperative teamwork.
Do you have any updates on the condition? I know you said one of the suspects was injured in the shooting. Do you have any update on his condition and the condition of the other person, the people that were injured?
Currently, The two individuals, the suspect is currently still at the hospital. Don't know his condition, if it's been elevated or not. And then we still have one of the victims here in the hospital in Muskegon.
Are they in serious condition, or will they be able to be released soon?
Cannot comment on that, I'm sorry.
How do you know there's two witnesses say there's two guys?
I'm sorry.
We can't really comment on the evidence until it's presented in court, but based on the information that we have, we're pretty confident that we have the two individuals that were involved.
Can you describe the robbery? What was?
Cannot describe that either, not until in court.
With this type of investigation, there's a lot of evidence. And then to Prosecutor Hilson's comment, still have a lot to do on that end of it. With all the evidence seized, we need to, and Michigan State Police is going to be evaluating all that, and it takes time. And we want to make sure that we're doing everything appropriate for the victims to be able to bring these suspects in and get their appropriate charges.
Is there a different approach, or is it more challenging to investigate something like this, given how many victims were involved here?
It can be a challenge because, as I've said before, we weren't there. We have to try to piece what happened in that house that night. And it sometimes can be very difficult when people are in critical condition. We have nobody to talk to or limited witnesses.
You kind of mentioned somebody came forward with some information that helped lead investigators to that second suspect over in the Detroit area. How important was that, getting cooperation from the community to advance this investigation?
I said on my last time talking to everybody is that we've had great cooperation from our local citizens. And with this information coming in through our Asylum Observer program, that's what led us down that road to be able to start focusing on the east side of the state for that second individual. I think it speaks highly to the relationships that we've built over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, not only with our prosecutor's office, but with local law enforcement and our community, that I think we can have those conversations with our community about these situations.
In the beginning, you said that one of the suspects was one of the people injured. Do you believe, were they accidentally injured? Were they injured from return fire? Is there any information?
Unknown at this point.
Yeah, we can't really speculate on that.
Going back to the community, we've seen a lot of people upset about this. You know, just before this, we had another individual that was shot and killed in his home, and now the community is finding out about this just days before Christmas. What's your response? What's your message to the community who right now just isn't okay?
I would say this. Muskegon, over the last year, has had a tremendous drop in our violent crime rate. We've been working tirelessly as a police department to tackle that and to be out in the community to try to work with our community partners to keep having that data go down. I would rest assured that now with these people in custody, I would hope that our citizens would have that anxiety lessened of how it is here in the city of Muskegon.
Yeah, and even though the chief won't brag about it, I will. I think our law enforcement community is one of the best in the state. And it's been proven time and time again based on the fact that we've been able to get quick resolutions to these cases, charge them appropriately, and bring the perpetrators to justice, hold them accountable. And again, this case, I think exemplifies how great our law enforcement here is, or here in Muskegon County is, and citizens should be really proud and appreciative that they are really serving and protecting their daily lives.
I want to follow up on that. You know, a lot of these individuals that have been in these recent cases have been late teens, early 20s. One of the concerns of people in the community is that our young people in our community are being involved in crime. I know you just said that crime is going down, but there's people saying, hey, what's going on with our youth? What's your response to that?
I think throughout my whole law enforcement career, we've always had that conversation, what's going on with our youth, what's going on with our 16 through 22-year-olds. That's something us in law enforcement are always trying to examine what we can do, what kind of programs we can put in place. Put our officers in the schools, put our officers in the middle schools, hold our youth police academies here to try to always bridge that gap. And then try to always also reach out to the families, because we can only do so much. I think it has to start at home.
Is there any message to the youth directly?
Well, number one, we're hiring. Right? We're hiring. We'd love to have local young men and women that live in the city of Muskegon come and work for us and serve our greater community.
Was the second suspect apprehended without incident?
That's a good question.
As far as I know, yes, that there was no violence as is related to that arrest, and that they were able to do so in a very peaceful way.
Was he injured in this?
Who?
Also the second
Oh,
suspect?
from the incident itself?
Yes.
Not to my knowledge.
Is he back in prison or is he in a county jail right now?
I believe currently he's being held at our county jail, but under a Michigan Department of Corrections hold.
I might be missing something, but the guy that's in the hospital, the suspect, did you think in the beginning, what was it? Did you think he was victim or?
Well, again, I think as in any investigation, you have to gather as much information as you can before you start labeling people as witnesses, suspects, or victims, and certainly that was true in this particular case. And based on, again, where we are today with the investigation, we're very comfortable in indicating that he is certainly a suspect and person of interest in this particular matter.
How soon do you anticipate being able to bring charges in this case?
As I indicated earlier, I'm hoping within a week. Again, there's still some investigative, I'll say, items that we have to sort of clear up before we can feel comfortable issuing charges, but I would hope that within the next week we'd be there.
Is the fact that one is in the hospital, is that delaying charges being issued?
You know, certainly, no, I don't say it's delaying. I mean, it's giving us time to make sure that we have all our ducks in a row. That's for sure.
What were they in prison for? Or, on parole for?
I don't have that information. I'm sorry.
Were they on parole for things on the east side of the state or for things on the west side?
All I know is they're on parole.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
I don't want to speculate.
Were they in prison together?
That I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Any message for the families of victims? They help vigil. Anything you want to say to them tonight about the progress of this investigation?
I think number one, we've listened. We've brought people that we believe. Hopefully we can have some charges within the next week. And we work tirelessly from that date on to bring justice to those families and to the people affected.
I'll say that my office had the opportunity this morning to meet with both families, so they were well aware of where we were at, that we were having this press conference this afternoon. And so, yeah, as is true with both agencies, I think it's really important that we stay in constant communication with them.
Are you able to speak about their response? Were they happy with the information that you were able to provide, or I guess where are they at?
Well, certainly, I mean, anytime you get the information that we're getting close to charging those responsible, I think that in some respects brings a sense of relief, maybe some joy. I can't speak to their emotions, where they're at, but certainly good news is always good news. And I know that was conveyed today.
And again, one more time, how quickly were you able to apprehend those two suspects for those who are just coming in?
Well, the second suspect, the one in Detroit, was just apprehended this past Friday, correct?
And the first one?
The first one was injured in the shooting, so.
Oh, okay, so just
Yeah,
to clarify,
yes.
for those who are curious about how long this
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. Of course, we'll be communicative once we get charges. Those will definitely come out when that happens. All right. Have a wonderful and safe holiday season, okay,
Yes.
everybody?